Okay.
Yeah.
I think I get.
We're not changing it up here in Ohio.
right. That's why I was like, damn, I can't really pull that
Where
one off.
are these
there.
sexy old ladies?
So we're gonna push that round.
All right, let's take it out to the West Coast.
West Coast.
Washington. I want to see what my dad said.
I was about to say, I don't want to know what my mom and your dad are searching. So,
man, these are tough.
They got that big ass.
We gotta push Washington. They're the same. They're the same both ways. That's what we going to start doing. Pushing the ones that are the same. Washington is double penetration both years.
Yeah. I knew they were having fun on the island.
What the hell are y'all doing out there?
Double pennies in Washington.
Well,
never mind. That explains the Washington football team. I almost said something racist.
Isn't that the wrong Washington? Wait, were you looking at Washington, D.C. or the state?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping.
Double penetration sounds.
Everybody's getting fucked in Washington, D.C. We know that.
Both ends.
We got the right state. They double pennies up in Washington. But I was talking about the team.
But that was last year.
Yeah, no, both years. They're all about the pennies.
Wow. Again, consistency.
Call them Abrahams. What? What's the next one?
California.
Oh, this could be anything.
California 11. I don't even understand this. California 2020 swag.
Interesting.
I've never searched swag.
Maybe you should.
What is that acronym for?
Porn.
I don't know. I feel like that's just swag like swagger. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what I get from it. I don't know if there's an acronym involved.
Maybe they just misspelled and they figured it out in 2021. PAWG. PAWG.
That's an interesting and autocorrect.
Exactly. Fat ass white girl, man, love it.
Listen, I'm not gonna act like I don't search them for myself.
It's a go-to search. Also happens to be what I look for in my dating profiles.
But y'all motherfuckers is stupid. Swag in California. Okay.
So what was 2021? Cliff, you are the worst game host ever,
right?
By the way.
Because I'm doing it on the fly and I'm trying to figure it out in my head while I've been drinking and all that.
All I hear is
okay. I got an
excuse,
idea.
excuse.
True or false? California goes from swag to Asian.
False.
False.
Double falses. It's true.
Is it? All right. All right.
I got a good poker face, man. I got a
See, you're better at this than you thought.
Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't ready for that. I seen y'all the link, baby.
All right. I grow tired of this game. Double or
Okay.
nothing. Where are we going?
Let's give some love to the middle of the country. Kansas.
Kansas.
Oh, that should be interesting.
You know what?
That's
If I'm
probably the most
being honest,
consistent one of them all.
What's that one shaped like?
The big
I can
square.
pick Kansas out of a lineup.
It's the big square, big rectangle.
in the
The
middle.
one.
Listen, they say all black folks look alike. I don't know. Is it the top or the bottom one?
The bottom one.
Okay, so let me try to find this one on. I'm telling you, on the other one, they're not in order. So y'all had to tell me which one it was, so I knew what shape to look. Oh no, that's Wyoming, Colorado.
South of Wyoming.
It's next to Missouri.
This is south of Wyoming? Or is it east of Wyoming?
They're not in order. Okay, Kansas, you said, right? Kansas.
Oh, it was Streamlabs.
Was it Kansas?
Kansas.
So Kansas in 2020 is
Cornhusker.
That'd be Nebraska.
That is Nebraska.
Kansas in 2020 is Chubby.
Not surprising.
I don't mind that one.
I don't either. You might. I've searched that as well. I'm not gonna lie about that. I've searched that as well.
Gotta have a little meat.
2021. True or false? Doggy style.
Going from chubby to doggy style.
Yeah, but you only want a chubby girl if you're hitting it from the back.
That's not always the case.
That's part of the view.
I'll go with true on that.
I'm gonna go false.
Gotta give point to Mike.
There we go.
Kansas went from chubby to pantyhose.
To pantyhose.
Mm-hmm.
Started going to a nylon fetish. All right.
I don't know how we got there, but growth is key. So next thing. What's the next thing?
No, I think I'm done with this game.
You done with it? Okay. Well, right now y'all are tied. So
well, then we need to do one more.
thing?
Fine. All right.
North Dakota.
North Dakota. What the fuck?
This will be good.
This is going, listen, y'all, it's a 50-50 for whoever on North Dakota. And I ain't even 2021. In 2020, it says North Dakota pumpkin. Is that a sexual term or something?
See, this is how long I've been out.
I thought it was Blumpkin.
Is that a typo?
Well, they might not be familiar with the term.
I'm thinking it's a typo thing again.
Oh, man.
That has to be autocorrect, huh? What is a Blumpkin, Michael?
That is when you get a blowjob while you're taking a dump. Because that's the sound it makes when it hits the water. Bloom.
Show of hands, how many people have participated in this?
If somebody tried to touch my dick while I was taking this shit.
Who the hell gets off on that?
We broke Cliff.
And I only say somebody because either or is getting punched. You hear what I'm saying?
All right, 2021, true or false?
2021, true or false? North Dakota. Where's North Dakota on the map?
We're back to this again. Towards the north. Find the two states that look alike and pick the one on top.
It's right next to Canada.
That's exactly what I thought. True or false? Pumpkin to quickie.
False.
True.
Well, Michael is the Pornhub.
Damn it to hell. Actually, I'm kind of glad you won this.
I don't have to go home to anybody.
Right, exactly. I don't have to take any heat now.
I feel like Matt take this. Matt sandbag this shit.
Listen, goodness fucking gracious.
Right
Now imagine what would have happened if we went with Mike's old boring ass Channel 4 topic.
I mean, to be fair, we hit one of them, so.
You're right. I had to squeeze it in.
I know, you fucking bastard.
Well, that was fun.
I don't even know where to go from here.
I got nothing.
There's no easy transition.
What was your top search history, Cliff? What was your personal top?
I don't know. You already know how I go. I'm like a deck of Uno cards.
Well, like a reverse.
Sometimes I reverse. Sometimes I draw 4. I don't know.
Wild card.
It's all about what card comes out.
Sometimes you just gotta click what's popular in the United States.
What if they made that a Pornhub? What if they made that a Pornhub feature where it's just like a roulette wheel?
I think they should. Pick for me.
Right,
like Netflix has that option now.
Exactly.
It's like how Netflix has that random recommendation button. Yeah.
Let us pick something for you.
I heard something disturbing as hell the other day about how step porn, for like step kids. It's
step
like
kids or
step
siblings.
parents. Or parents too. It's like a real high search, like across the board.
Oh yeah, no.
That's fucking weird.
I always say, listen, I'm gonna be the first to say, I always said to and I know I was ignorant, but I always told my stepdad, listen, you better not have no kid bringing them in, no girl bringing them in here, because that'd be in home if you look how
I mean, there's nothing technically wrong with it.
There's not, and here's the deal.
But there's a stigma.
So
for who?
For society, man. Like, okay, so a point of example, I had a buddy back in college who this actually happened to, and he ended up dating his stepsister. And this was fucking weird. Well, it was like many years after.
He ended up dating his stepsister, as in he didn't know that. Like,
no, he knew.
No, so his mom and dad split a long time ago,
okay.
His mom,
he dated
his mom hooked up with this other guy who already had a girl, a daughter that was of the same age, and basically, they just started dating.
I mean, it depends on how long they lived together.
They weren't like his parent, his mom and this guy weren't married. They were just dating. So I mean, on the surface of all legality, totally fine. They're not related at all.
See, here's where...
But it's still like there's a title association that makes it fucking weird.
So one, Rita's chiming into the chat with, I had a friend who married her stepbrother. So that's number one. 2, I had a crush on someone that ended up becoming my stepsister before my dad and her mom got together.
Okay, I mean, technically...
So that's where I'm like, I could understand. Like,
it's a social stigma thing.
I get it. I get it. It's not normal. It's not usual, but there's no blood relation. How you can't help the fact that your parents...
Yeah, we live in new times,
So I don't know. Oh, man.
I got too much going on to be coughing on.
We broke Cliff again. But yes, no, the step whatever craze in porn is real. I'm trying to think of how to get off of porn, but now I'm kind of stuck there.
It's kind of a deep topic.
Listen, you get caught. You You get caught
Now
in
I'm thinking like I haven't watched in a while. I haven't had to.
We're gonna start right now.
Let's see. Let's
He
see
just
what's in
picks
the
up
old
the
search
phone.
history.
Shit. I haven't watched in a while, haven't gotten nothing.
Uh-huh. I think I've had conversations with you that indicate otherwise, but continue.
Who said that?
Nobody. Nobody's telling on anybody. All right. Moving on.
Correction. I had sex with kids.
I don't know if the lawyer lady is speaking to me up in the booth or if you just a lying mother.
Oh shit! Here we
Don't
go
try to
again.
drag me down into your debauchery.
Who started this game?
I mean, I was trying to orchestrate a threesome at one point, but that kind of fell apart.
Listen, don't try to drag me down in your debauchery.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine here now. How are you?
Listen.
Oh, shit. So, what's going on, fellas? What do we got?
I don't know, shit. China shot his son.
Hard to go back to that.
I saw a mutual friend of ours, Cliff, posted something about they're getting real close on robots that can imitate human like emotions and facial movements and shit like that.
Yeah.
And we're talking like not quite obviously Android level yet, still robots, but whoo, buddy.
I have heard of the little sex dummy doll things they got in China right now that, you know.
So back to the Pornhub searches.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, you started it.
I believe Cliff started this whole conversation.
I mean,
You already had topic.
you know this is going to happen at a certain point, man. Between
You already had
virtual
topic.
reality headsets and, you know, some little sex dummy.
Oh, no doubt.
There's going to be a whole new generation in the next couple of, you know, decades here that just
Motherfucker,
never
I
knew
got
that.
a bonus coming. I'm looking for it.
Tired of these dating apps.
If I come over there and you have a sex
This is too
dummy
much
walking
work.
around, I'm going to sneak up from behind it and snap his neck like a fucking Navy SEAL.
Come walking in here. Don't mind her. That's just Sheila.
She's my friend. She's my special friend.
You turn her around. She's looking at me.
I'm going to snap his whole compound cord.
And then it fixes itself.
Listen, I'm out that motherfucker faster than you know.
No, we're only. I mean, we're not that far from it, and I think we've had serious conversations on this topic around not necessarily sex robots, but like the blend between artificial and real, the blend between digital and real. Like that line continues to blur, and we are getting to a point where, from a cost perspective, augmented reality ain't that far off.
No.
True virtual reality.
We're
ain't
probably
that far
already
off.
living in the simulation. I just don't know it yet.
It's true. It's
Listen,
true.
I've been trying to tell y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, Matrix said
Yeah,
this
my
in
shirt
2000.
says fucking food. I've been trying to
I
tell
don't know,
y'all
man.
motherfuckers. Nah, I'm just
I think
playing.
strange
either.
times are ahead. It's going to be wild.
Well, and there's on top of that, I think there's other scientific advancements around it. Like, yeah, we can make the jokes about sex dolls and sex robots, but we're getting close to the point of human augmentation
I mean,
and cyborg being like a real thing.
I'm more
because-
interested in the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, what the hell is the thing Elon's been working on? It's where like a biological interface where they basically put chips in your brain that help augment your brain functions.
And that stuff, the problem that we'll run into on that front in the short term is we still don't understand the human brain well enough yet. But once they're done mapping the human brain, probably in the next 10, 20 years.
You think that fast?
I do. Because I think you've seen it become...
But wait.
I think you've hit Moore's Law with it almost, where the processing power to understand that kind of stuff continues to increase.
But wait. You're acting as if you're controlling it as a whole. Almost like the skull is the Dyson sphere, and it's not.
So say more.
What I'm saying is there's nothing harnessing the energy of the brain. So if you're adding something to it and you think that you can map it out, they say that you know what I'm saying. They say it's the equivalent of the universe.
In terms of the complexity, I agree with you. But
right, so you can't just add a chip to it and expect that whoever programmed that chip knew enough about that brain to make sure that chip was going to do all the shit that it was going to do.
I think, man, at least in my amateur understanding of this, it would be something along the lines of putting probes at certain points of the brain they know are responsible for certain thought function that would stimulate more neuron transfer, and electrical activity.
Yeah. So what the Elon thing is in terms of neural interface,
like filling your brain.
Yeah, it's not. Is it to the point of augmenting like human function, or is it to respond to human thought? Basically?
Well, I would think there would be twofold. One, to actually produce higher thought possibilities, engage your brain on a higher level, and make it process faster. And then two would be storage.
Gotcha.
Being able to actually retain and draw.
So this isn't necessarily. We're not talking neural interface where you're controlling something with your thoughts. Where this is true human augmentation.
But yeah, just like making instead of focusing entirely on creating the AI, the completely artificial brain that's able to process things much faster and actually have emotion and new thought. It's like we already have that. Let's just ramp it up.
Yeah.
And so
that's what they talked about, Cliff. Even in the video we talked about last week, 2 weeks ago, about the singularity where the blend between AI and real becomes so indistinguishable that we eventually cross over into kind of a post-human society where AI is actually the superior life form, and the only point where AI truly evolves instead of evolving itself, meaning you get to the point of machines building machines kind of deal, is when you're able to basically upload a human consciousness into the AI. And so what you're talking about is almost the reverse, which is maintain the human and augment it with AI to get to kind of the same end.
That don't work. I
think it's the only way to combat AI because, at least in my opinion, AI is going to win.
Yeah.
Well, that's but that's the thing, though. Once you start making mass of them, of course they are gonna win. Like at that point, there's nothing like what Mike's talking about, where it gets to the point where they can react and give the expression. There's really nothing that we can do about that. At that point, you don't know who's in AI and who's real.
Yeah, I mean
that's the president.
That's Blade Runner.
Who's AI, right? And we had the conversation before a few podcasts ago, and I said it. Listen, I don't care. Is once it gets to the point where the AI actually breaks from the programming, I think that they would make the best decisions.
Really? Well, best.
I do.
What do you mean by best?
I think that
best for the Earth, best for themselves, best for us.
Well, see, that's where we get to I don't want to repeat the same podcast over, but
well, just cliff note it.
But I'm gonna have to send you the video, right? Because the conversation all stemmed from a video that was sent where they basically broke down from the year 2028 to the year, I think, 3000 and beyond. And like they explained it in detail, like to the point that they even had specific names of people in the video, and it all kind of felt real, like we said earlier, simulation-y. Like, well, how would they know the names of these people if that didn't already happen type shit?
Well,
but go ahead.
I mean, I am a total novice at the whole quantum physics, side of things. But
You and me both. I don't claim to know nothing.
yeah,
I'm a fool.
I just listened to a few ridiculously smart people try to break it down for me a lot, or at least on many occasions, and it's like I still don't get it. But the possibility of infinite possible realities, that this has all happened a million times over, a trillion times over, in every different iteration it could possibly happen across the universe and beyond, with small tweaks in between, or the exact same thing happened already.
I believe that though, right? Because like we talked about last episode, Mike, Earth been around for 4.3 billion years.
Yep.
And we just came around very late in that 4.3. So how much happened in that whole 3 billion years before we came about?
Right.
Well,
they say that time repeats itself, but we just take it as in our own lifespan. But time clearly must repeat itself, like in literal terms, for all of this to have happened and come about, and happened and come about, and happened and come about.
No. I think what gets lost, at least my limited understanding of it, and I could be way off base here, but the concept is that this is not the only universe. That there are infinite possible universes.
Like I know what you're saying.
The one
it's the
expansion,
multiverse theory. Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
If that's possible,
I know what you're
then
saying.
it's impossible that for there to be infinite number of multiverses out there.
But listen,
all this has happened exactly like this, or it's happened with a slight alteration, or it's happened completely different. Where we're sitting around looking like half a frog.
And what we talked about was the fact that things like the Mandela effect are actually breaks between basically the multiverse. Like,
okay.
It is a crossover point where, yes. And in fact, the example I used, I think, last week was the whole Febreze one. All it was a dude spoke up in a meeting where he didn't speak up in the other one. Like, Febreze being spelled with 2 E's or 1. Like, it's all it takes. It was one dude in a marketing meeting, and the CMO had a bad day that day instead of a good day. He said, nah, fuck it, I don't like it. Like, so I think what's interesting, or what Cliff is getting at is, and I don't even know, Cliff, feel free to jump back in, but when I think about cycles, and I think about if the universe has cyclical patterns, and this is going away from multiverse, but thinking more along the lines of, I think what we settled on was the universe is like 58 billion years old, and Earth's only been around for 4.3, and we've been on Earth for a fraction of that even. And it is entirely possible that over the course of that 58 billion years, there has already been the rise and fall of other civilizations.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that we are now in my reference here is always Mass Effect, which is a sci-fi video game where there are these artificial life forms that basically come in, wipe out galactic civilizations every 50,000 years, because that's about how long it takes for that cycle to build, where a species develops, becomes intelligent, travels to the sky, travels to the stars, becomes intergalactic in their nature, and then poof, some sort of mass extinction event. It's the same thing we've talked about on Earth. Like, that pattern repeats itself.
Right.
There's always a mass extinction event.
I actually just good.
What were you about to say, Matt?
I just heard this interesting theory on, so it's was it the paradox that there's no other life in the universe that we've come across. What is that precept called?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know what you're talking about.
The Fermi paradox.
The Fermi paradox, yes.
Cliff
on it. Okay, so the Fermi paradox is that all if there's other, the universe is so expansive, there has to be other life. Why haven't we seen it? So, one of the theories that maybe I'm butchering this here, but maybe we are the only, the fact that we have gotten to this point is an amalgam of itself. That this doesn't happen. This is very special what we've done, and getting to this point, and that most other civilizations
not really,
way
though.
before this.
Yeah.
Because we're still not even at the level 1 civilization yet. They said that we're at 0.7 right now, and in the next 300 years, hopefully, we can hit the level 1.
What the hell is 0.7 of?
So it's basically ranking and I don't remember where this originated, but it's basically saying, go ahead, Cliff.
It's I can't remember the dude's name.
Not important. Just go.
But a civilization is ranked off of how much they're using their natural resources. So a level 1 civilization would find a way to harness the energy of the entire earth, whether it meant water, wind, whatever the case may be, and they would harness all the energy to use their shit. Okay. Once they've exceeded that, a level 2 civilization would be one that could harness the energy of all the planets around them in their specific universe. So that's when you get into the Dyson spheres around the sun and traveling out to, Saturn and, harnessing the strength of the rings and all that bullshit. Now, a level 3 would be harnessing the entire galaxy.
Who made this grading system, by the way?
It's I don't know the dude's name off the top of my head. I could look it up though.
Kardashev.
Yeah.
Nikolai Kardashev.
And what's this based on?
Soviet astronomer, and what it's based on is
historical use of energy.
I think that's pretty much what it gets to. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, I ain't no dumb motherfucker.
Russian scientists, they always 2 steps ahead.
I always try to expand the brain. Now that's one thing. I don't want no chips in my shit. I feel like I will put my cards on the table against a lot of motherfuckers and try to see how I fold.
I don't know, man. If I had the opportunity to Johnny Mnemonic myself and get a storage unit in there, I would do it.
You can augment the shit out of me. Let's go.
I'm not mad. We're probably all feeling it. The older you get, the harder it is to, you retain a lot of stuff, but you can to be able to draw from the filing system is getting harder and harder. I can't even remember the paradoxing. I've said that word how many damn times, but just blanked on it right then.
Right.
That's life. I feel like that's trying to, what's that? What is it? Jacob's ladder. Like you're trying to build your way to the heavens, and that's going to come with issues.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why not just enjoy what you got while you got it and rock? I'm good on all that.
I don't. My personal perception is that, there is a duality. We could just exist to exist, or do we exist to make things, just to create things? Show me other species on this planet that we're aware of that actually creates things, out of the blue.
A lot of ants do. A lot of people. A lot of animals do.
For a lot of creatures, it's systematic.
Yeah, but so this gets back to, and even some of the earlier commentary, I think it comes back to just human arrogance.
There's some definitely hubris going on.
There's definitely hubris involved there, and kind of what I get back to is there are creatures, to Cliff's point, that build things. There is proof of empathy and almost telepathic communication in marine life,
whales and
the one that always and the one that always fucking gets me is there is a certain species of octopus that dies when it gives birth, but it appears that the young retains the memories of the old.
Genetic memories, pretty old precept.
Right, but like we have proof of it.
Yeah,
so there are different forms of evolution, and for us to think that
we need reparations.
Even outside, like especially if you start thinking about outside of our like planet, there's no reason to believe that other beings are corporeal or carbon based or like. So there is
It'd just be energy based.
We can talk all we want about how, to your point on the paradox, like we haven't found another civilization that's gotten to this point.
It's just a thought.
We just don't understand it.
Yeah,
that's just as likely is that it has to do with human arrogance, thinking that we are the pinnacle of evolution.
Right.
And there's a good fucking chance we're not.
I get it with my dad all the time because he keeps talking about physicists like Sean Carroll, their understanding of quantum physics, and it's like they know about the universe now. And my position has always been on this is like,
do they though?
What did we know?
Just because we can see a picture of something from millions of billions of miles away, trillions, whatever, away, doesn't mean we understand it at all.
They fall back on the math. Is
right.
Like the math is their grail.
But that's also the assumption that
they're
physics
operating
play
off
the same way in other areas of
gravity,
the galaxy.
right.
And besides, if you want to talk about multiverses and stuff, it's like there could be a total flip, the upside down,
right?
Of this is totally opposite.
No, absolutely.
And so, I think there's a lot more left to be learned.
I think that's the end of all of this is that every law of physics that we have had as a society over the years has been broken to some extent.
Not
at
broken,
different
but
points.
modified anyway.
Fair.
Newton, the law still applies.
It still applies, but again,
they've been
replaced.
It's
been replaced. It's been updated. It's been upgraded. However you want to look at it. Mm-hmm. And again, that sample size is still small. It's still planet Earth. There's not examples of this. And I'm not saying that we can't look to the stars and see.
We absolutely should.
Meteors collide and be like, oh, these principles still apply out here. Like I get that, but again, that's still a very limited segment of what we can witness real time in terms of the greater galaxy and universe around us.
Well, I always point to 2,000 years ago. They knew the Earth was the center of the universe. They knew it. It was fact. That was law. And now.
It's like, nah, we ain't shit.
Things have changed.
Well, I think it's, and I don't want to be the guy to, sound like that, but it all comes down to capitalism. Even when you think about the Roman rule, how they wiped out a lot of shit and just took over. It was all about a capitalism, who's on top. Now, I know that specific situation wasn't like now. Let's be honest. You had people that had to do their situations, but it all ended up being who was on top. Yeah. So you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it a dictatorship. You can call it a democracy. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But as long as you are just feeding the people on top, it's the same situation.
Yeah.
I think that, I find myself walking both sides of the fence on a lot of, that particular issue.
Now, I wouldn't want to be in anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to be in anything but a capitalist society, but to an extent.
Well, there's pros and cons. You just have to, everybody has to look at it as it's all, or at least the narrative that is perpetuated nowadays is that it's all bad or it's all good. And,
right.
Right. There's
pros
and cons to capitalism and socialism, just own it.
And it's we've lost the ability to have dialogue.
No,
we've lost
there's
the
no
ability
nuance.
to have the dialogue in the middle, and it's all polarity and.
You're right.
Like, as soon as you even say the word capitalism in either a negative or positive context,
Right.
You're upsetting
yeah.
someone.
Oh no,
Right. Right.
You've been cattle card.
Right.
You can't even have a conversation anymore because they know exactly everything about it. They know how you voted. They know everything about you.
Yeah.
Because you
Fuck
said
them
one
all.
word.
We
Yeah.
just came into this conversation off of a Pornhub contest.
What do you know about me?
Fuck them all. That's how I
Check my
feel
porn
about it.
history. You don't know me.
What would people learn about you from your porn history?
Listen, you might see some step shit in there. I don't know.
There's a whole think tank somewhere that focuses just on that.
What is no doubt, because they can talk all they want that they don't sell data, but fuck that, we know they're selling data.
You can
Porn-
sell whatever you
porn
want.
stars
Just
ain't getting
pay my
paid
medical
anymore.
bills.
They're making money somehow.
Right.
Motherfuckers.
What was that one line that some comedian
Now
had a
that's
while
something
back?
though, ain't it?
What's that?
I'm sorry, what you saying, Matt?
I was just making a joke about if they took away the porn, there would be one website left, and where'd the porn go?
Nah, it would just be a real quick travel back in time to high school when you was selling tapes and DVDs. You notice how I said you.
You. What were you about to say, Cliff? You don't remember.
That was a long time ago.
A long time ago. I could
Yeah, I
still
can't remember what I was about to say. What were we talking about beforehand?
Porn.
Or what?
Always porn.
I thought it had something to do with porn, selling data.
Yeah, selling data.
Oh yeah, the selling data conversation. What was I about to say off that? That's exactly where we were.
I did have somebody, because you brought this up the other day about being in Speedway and like the coffee being able to make itself to whatever it thought you wanted.
I don't like that.
I have a friend that works for, she is big data for one of the major energy drink corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically said they can already do that.
I bet.
They can already tell how long
think
you
that-
look at something when you step into a Speedway. They can already identify like what caught your eye, even if you looked at it and then looked
What,
away.
like facial recognition through the cameras?
It's not even getting into as depth as the depth of like facial recognition, but it is like eye tracking. And I've seen this technology at work. Like, so I work in IT, and even 15 years ago, we could sit somebody in front of a computer with a webcam on top and basically see like how usable the site was by like how their eye movements happened, the time between clicks, things like that.
I've heard about that for like phones and stuff.
I'm not worried about that.
As long
But-
as you linger on like
Yep.
for through your TikTok or whatever, there's
All
an
of that.
algorithm that say you paused on this for.
But it's
more than a
also the
second.
same in mass market retail.
Right.
So like gas stations and that kind of stuff.
But
Like
again,
they
they-
already
they-
know what you're looking at. They already know what you're buying. Like
Now, are they doing that with just samples and they're extrapolating off of that, or are
Probably.
they actually using facial recognition software to track people's eye movement?
I don't know that I wouldn't call it facial recognition, but you can track you can do eye recognition and not necessarily go to the like facial recognition to me brings on a different context in terms of that means you're matching it to a database in the back end. If you're just
Well,
talking about eye tracking, like they're
Similar
seeing how long.
software.
Yeah, it's the same. I'm sure it's the same software. I'm sure they could use it in the same
But
fashion.
is the
but
hardware that good? Because I've seen the quality of the cameras they use.
you see the quality they want you to see.
That's a good point.
And so
Got that 4K one tucked
right,
behind cigarettes.
exactly. And I think in Columbus we're especially vulnerable to that kind of shit because why? Because Columbus is still a major test market for the U.S.
It is.
It is not quite what it was 15, 20 years ago, where the demographics of Columbus matched up almost perfectly to the overarching demographics of the U.S. From an income, racial, education. Like Columbus really 20, basically.
I've heard they use that for products.
Oh yeah, big time.
Big time for products. But
Absolutely.
I don't know about data collection, really.
Well, but it's the same thing.
Right.
If you're testing the product here, this is where you're going to collect the data.
Right.
Are y'all giving me a fucking lecture in economics? Like, I
don't know that it was about economics, but it was about the fact that you're being tracked anytime you walk into a store. And I know you're black, so you already feel that way. So I get it, but
listen, you gotta move a certain way. Now, did y'all see the shit where they know where you got a gun on you in the store cameras now?
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, no, it's a new camera. I doubt that everybody got them, but it's a new camera to where. And I understand, because now we're in a situation where there are a lot of people that do have concealed carry.
I just got mine. I took the class, and it was the people that were teaching the class, I couldn't tell that they were wearing guns.
Oh yeah. I got an inside holster. Yeah, you don't know if I got a strap on me. I could wear a sweatpants. I could wear basketball shorts.
Well,
you would know if I had a gun on me.
They even teach you that in the class. It's like you have to change the way you dress if you're going to carry.
But regardless, I mean, it's
if you're wearing a hoodie, there's no way they can tell I got something tucked in my belt. In a conceal holster. There's no way.
But I mean, what kind of hoodie? A Carhartt?
I'm a big fella. I wear big hoodies. You know what
I mean, it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be. What's it called? Camouflage. Because you walk around like Trayvon Martin, they may mistake you for an old Mexican and pop your motherfucking ass.
Let's just say I'm not wearing capris, you know what I'm saying?
That's my guy, man. Damn, I wish I wasn't feeling great.
What?
I think we're losing Cliff here.
I'm trying to remember the movie, but it's like, of course! I've been drinking. Oh man,
You stupid, man.
Where's the love today, Cliff?
I love everybody. I wish I was there. I'd have gave both of y'all big COVID hugs. I'm negative.
Let me share the Rona.
Just doing our part to build
negative.
that herd immunity.
I guess I'm just flu sick.
What the hell they call that one where it's like flu and Omicron together?
Flumicron?
I'm getting back, baby.
Omaflu? Well, fellas, we're at about an hour 50 in. What else we got? Anything else?
Let me
I
think.
think we covered quite a bit.
We did. We were all over the place tonight, which is great. It's wonderful.
Let me think, because I may not get this opportunity again.
Why? Is one of us going to die?
There's always next week. Unless that crazy sun they just launched, they're blowing shit up.
No, I'm good, baby. Love everybody, baby.
Matt, you got anything to close us out?
No, I got nothing except for love for everybody.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
That's my guy. That's my brother.
Let's all be genuine.
I'm mad I couldn't be there, man.
Soon enough, man.
We'll do it again. He's around.
We got to.
We got him back in.
COVID is not... Hey, when we started this thing, it was... COVID just became a thing. And
right.
It's true.
I would have been here from day one, but, you know.
Right.
The shit was weird then.
Can't wait till next time.
Now I don't give a fuck.
Shit. When Matt was first on the show, I was living here. I have moved and then moved back.
Right.
It's been a crazy couple of years
in that time. So
that's how you know we're homies.
That's
Dude,
right.
I've moved to 2 different places since then.
Right.
That's my home.
Oh,
It's been busy, man.
That's my home.
I know. It misses you.
It got character here.
Your nephew misses you too.
I know I'll be around, man. I'll be around.
I know you will. All right. Well, with all of that, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe. And if you're already on YouTube, head over to the podcast. Subscribe there. If you're on Facebook, head to YouTube. If you're, help us out on all of the different channels. And we appreciate you all. Peace out, fools.